Okay, imagine this. You're driving through California's dreamy wine country. There are rolling hills, tons of sun, and suddenly, between lush vineyards, this charming Danish village appears. Think windmills, cobblestone streets filled with blooming flowers, and the comforting scent of freshly baked pastries fill the air. It is called Solvang, and it feels like stepping straight into an Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. As a Canadian who is about to marry my wonderful American fiancé Talon, I have been eager to explore every magical corner California has to offer before officially making it my new home. So when I stumbled across a lovely vlog by Just Lanchin featuring this enchanting town, I instantly knew I had to visit. I was really excited to dress up in a whimsical outfit and to travel somewhere truly magical. So we set off on a weekend adventure that genuinely felt like entering another world. Pulling into Solvang at about 3 p.m. felt like stepping straight into Europe. Surrounded by lush greenery and serene wine country quietness, the town itself is pure storybook magic.
So we just landed in Solvang. I booked an Airbnb this same day, and I didn't realize it was pending until we got here. And so spent the last 10 minutes on the phone trying to book another place.
So we're just chilling to this elevator music, but it's already looking extremely beautiful.
Hamlet Square. You just missed the horses passing by, but there were horses.
Our Airbnb host hadn't responded yet, leaving us momentarily without a place to stay for the night. And so Talon started to quickly call all the nearby hotels, but everywhere was booked up. I'm not in my medieval fantasy outfit yet, but that's okay.
Because we haven't gotten to the hotel or place to stay yet.
But after a few hours waiting patiently, we found a place to stay by some miracle.
We can sleep tonight in comfort.
I was hoping to sleep on the street, actually.
Oh, I'll cancel.
The shops in Solvang were truly magical. Think Turkish lamp stores straight out of a fairy tale, crystal shops with shimmering little treasures inside, and these antique stores with the most enchanting clocks I think I have ever seen in my life. And then, just to top it all off, every single store was filled with lovingly chosen trinkets, and there were tons of bakeries, pastry shops, and restaurants that were extremely inviting. Seriously, this place, when we were there, we suffered from analysis paralysis because it was impossible to choose where to eat because everywhere just looked so inviting. One of the first shops that we wandered into was a tea and spice apothecary that was filled with enchanting aromas. Think herbs, salts, loose leaf teas, everything smelled delightful. And I happily wandered around smelling everything and daydreaming about the incredible recipes I could make with these goods. Then we got super hungry, and we had noticed this place called the Copenhagen Sausage Garden, and we knew we had to try it out. Think outdoor beer garden meets Fairytale tavern. There were string lights, picnic tables, a wonderful variety of sausages, pretzels, wines, beers, and mead. The mead was massive. It truly was a Dane special. What is the right way?
Is hold it completely onto the giant's cup. And Spread it with your hands because it's so tiny.
We got kielbasa, which is the sausage of my people. So I would say that the kielbasa was a solid 8.5 out of 10 and the pretzel was a solid 7 to a 7.5. And honestly, the wine was good, but I'd give the mead a solid 9 out of 10. It was a standout. And now that we weren't hungry anymore, we decided to go running around town again, and we stumbled upon this little shop called the Fairy and Frog. Although it was closed, just peeking through the window had us eagerly planning a return visit the next day. Then that evening, we had dinner at Coast and Range, and we were lured in by one very important detail on the menu: pierogi. As a Polish person, I seriously can't resist the promise of a good pierogi. So we ended up ordering that and the French onion soup, and while both dishes were okay, they didn't quite hit the mark. The flavors were a little underwhelming, especially the soup, which I found myself generously seasoning with salt and pepper just to give it a little bit more taste. It wasn't bad by any means, it was just missing that flavor depth that I really like in my soup. And then, to end the evening, we checked into our hotel and crafted a cozy DIY charcuterie board. Talon was super sweet and ran to the local grocery store, and we settled in to watch the Eurovision grand finale. This was genuinely such a wonderful day, and it was just part one of our weekend in Solvang. The very next day, I woke up so excited to put together the perfect comfy yet whimsical fairy princess meets adventurer outfit. And Talon also dressed up as a casual Viking with his linen shirt, Nordic belt, and rune necklace, and we were super excited to uncover some more hidden gems around this town. So it is day 2 of Solvang, and I am having such a great time. Today I actually decided to dress up a little bit like a fantasy character, nothing historical, and I'm super excited to run around, take some pictures, and just feel like I am in an actual storybook. This place, people are not lying when they say that it feels like it's like stepping into a fairy tale. Because not only is the architecture and just the overall vibe of this place extremely magical, but the people who work here are so incredibly kind and friendly. Every single shop and restaurant that me and Talon visited yesterday, we loved the company. So I had first spotted this charming little bookshop in Jess Lanshan's vlog, and the moment I saw it, I knew I had to visit. And honestly, it was just as cozy as she described. Inside, the shelves were lined with beautiful editions that I had never seen before, and my favorite was a stunningly illustrated copy of The Hobbit. This is the kind of book you don't just read, you actually display on your shelves. This place seriously does have everything, and in my opinion, it actually has finds that most bookstores don't, or at least I never noticed them. Like, this is seriously so cool. And all of these first edition looking books, I can't tell if they're first edition or if they're just really nice editions. And then upstairs, they have a Hans Christian Andersen museum that is filled with antique Fairytale editions and historical artifacts. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to explore it this time, but it is on my list for our next visit because The Little Mermaid, Thumbelina, The Emperor's New Clothes, the list goes on. There's something about Andersen's worlds that is so timeless and I'll never stop loving. And then, just down the road, we stumbled into The Good Life, a cozy little craft beer and wine cellar tucked just off the main street. It had a warm and welcoming energy immediately as there was a playlist that drew us in, and I tried the Mystic Vibrations High Seas mead, which had this unexpectedly refreshing watermelon flavor, and I genuinely ended up loving it so much that we brought home a 4-pack. And while we were there, the shopkeeper shared a bit of local history with us. Solvang was founded back in 1911 by a group of Danish teachers who wanted to preserve their language and culture here in California. They named it Solvang, meaning sunny field in Danish. And hearing the story from someone who clearly cared deeply about the town made it feel even more magical, like the whole village really is a love letter to Denmark.
There are probably like more tourists up here.
This is pretty amazing, I won't lie. Look at that. This place is truly one of the most magical places I've been, I would say. Just, yeah, everything about it. The climate, the people, the shops, the food, the culture. Oh, that bird is
just saying, trespassing! Trespassers!
Where'd they come from? And then after that, we headed to Fairy and Frog, the shop that I had been the most excited to visit, and it was every bit as magical as I hoped it would be. The moment we walked in, we were greeted by shelves full of crystals, glittering dusted trinkets, and the most enchanting fairy garden accessories. It truly felt like stepping into the secret garden or a green witch's cozy cottage. Nancy, the owner, was so kind and welcoming. She showed us these beautiful animated birthday cards that seemed to move like they had a bit of magic in them. We honestly wanted to buy everything, but we ended up picking out a gorgeous sun catcher, and it is now one of our favorite pieces hanging in the window. It casts the most wonderful rainbows in the evening. I truly can't recommend this shop enough. It feels like a little piece of magic in the real world. Next was lunch, and not just any lunch, no. This was the lunch of my dreams, because here's a not so secret fact about me. I am absolutely obsessed with cheese. Like, truly, charcuterie boards are my love language. So when we discovered this charming little town square the day before with several wineries and a place called, I think it's pronounced Kasia cheese shop that looked like something out of a European food fairy tale, we made a mental note that we would be coming back. And we did. But I was a little disappointed by the overall experience. We didn't receive any explanation about the cheeses we were tasting or which wines had been paired with them, which, let's be honest, is kind of the whole point of a cheese pairing. And at one point, a staff member just dropped our plate off without saying a single word, which felt so disruptive and almost like they were annoyed by our presence there. But that said, maybe they were just short-staffed or having an off day. It happens, I guess.
Do this.
Yes, we swish it around.
Go swish, swish, swash, swash, and
Yes.
and then you go, again.
And you inhale it and you splash your face with it.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it.
Honestly, I'm so excited for the cheese. I'm excited for the wine, but I'm really excited for the cheese.
But when it comes to the flavor, it was incredible. Every bite was rich, nuanced, and surprisingly memorable, even without the context that we wanted. And here's the interesting part. We didn't even realize until after the meal that nearly all of the cheeses that we had tasted were made of sheep or goat milk. There was only one cow milk variety at the end, and normally I can really tell the difference, but here, not at all. The textures were rich, the flavors were very deep and complex, and honestly, I might have liked them even more than the cow's milk ones.
This is how you swish, swash. And that's how you swash, swish.
Then our next stop was the Viking Museum, which felt like a perfect nod to Tallinn's Viking heritage. It was tucked inside a shop, and I think the ticket was about $5, and it opened up into 2 rooms filled with Viking era jewelry, artifacts, axe heads, and beautifully preserved swords. As the day started winding down, we made our way to Peasant's Feast, a cozy farm-to-table spot that came highly recommended by locals. And it was everything you'd want after a long day of just exploring.
First bite is incredible. Like actually genuinely really good.
Pretty good. So give it a 7. I need to say something.
What would you like me to say?
I don't know. I need to say something.
Oh, what would you like to say?
I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
And
I love you a lot.
ever since I got into the bottom of this,
It's
where there's a
delicious,
lot
right?
of caramelized onions,
It's like an 8
and
or
added
9.
the bacon,
It's like a 9/10.
I need to
out of
correct
10
the
for mac and
the
cheese.
record.
I agree, 100%.
and I can't flip the camera, but I never told Victoria this, but I'm not a mac and cheese person.
I am a mac and cheese.
My dad made so much mac and cheese when we were younger that just have no taste for it
You
now.
told me that. I wouldn't have ordered it.
But I had faith in this place and you.
Okay.
And seeing a smile on your face is the greatest seasoning. But
Aw.
this was incredible. And the funny thing is, originally there was an option to add bacon bits into it.
And Talon was like, no, can we have bacon on the side, please? And I was like, Talon, that's such a weird request.
That just went, hold on, was it not pleasing to just see a big juicy piece of bacon right
It's
there?
very pleasing.
So
I
I
was confused by it, but Talon is so polite that instead of telling me that he doesn't really like mac and cheese and that he'd rather just nibble on bacon on its own, he did.
The point is,
I love you so much.
I love you too. The point is that, and it all turned out well in the end.
With only a few minutes to spare before all the shops closed, we raced across the street to a local deli and picked up some freshly sliced prosciutto, and then we darted towards the gift shop because we were super worried that we wouldn't make it in time, but we got really lucky. While we were there, we grabbed a magnet, this really cute sign.
So we just discovered the most amazing little corner that has tailored tea towels and signs. This is the one that Talon is picking up.
And a Solvang themed spoon rest that now lives proudly in our kitchen.
Show me your ice cream, baby. What flavor did you choose?
Has churros con leche. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
You are the only flavor
what did you
I don't wanna lose.
Too much Eurovision. Sea salt, cream and cookies. Yeah.
That sounds incredible.
So let's give it a try. You go first.
Would you like to try mine?
Oh
I
yeah.
tried biting the sample. I'm trying Talon's. Talon sounded really enticing, but I didn't want to copy him. Don't let him know that, even though you're filming. Don't let him know.
Victoria has a problem where if anybody recommends any other kind of ice cream but the one that she really wants,
It's true.
she's gonna take it.
I am a people pleaser.
I'm still not sure if she wanted the churros one.
We had really wanted to try the famous donut balls called Abelskever, I believe, but unfortunately all the bakeries that sold them were closed by this time, so we'll definitely be coming back for them. And we had also hoped to squeeze in one last stop before the drive back, the Nature Museum, because as it turns out, everyone in town told us we had to see Solvang's resident troll, Lulu. But by the time we arrived, the museum had already closed for the day, and all we could do was press our faces to the window and try to catch a glimpse. And of course, the golden hour sun was shining directly onto the glass, so in our footage, she is barely visible. But trust me, she's massive and actually very cool to see in person. And so, with the sun now setting, we decided to head home, back to San Francisco, already daydreaming about our next visit. If you're planning your own trip, I'd recommend staying for more than just a day to really soak it in. The cozy pace, the community feel, the little details tucked in every shop window. You definitely need time. Solvang has this rare kind of warmth that makes it feel like home, even if it is your first time visiting. The amount of times that me and Talon joked about moving there, seriously, we were considering it. But anyway, thank you so much for coming along on this dreamy little adventure with me. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I will see you in my next adventure. Goodbye.